Good afternoon. Good afternoon. There we go. There's like 100 people crammed in here. Happy Supplier Diversity Week. It is a great pleasure to see all of you, to have many of our partners and allies in the community here, and we're most especially delighted to have representatives from the city of Cambridge, the mayor and the city manager here for a really important announcement and partnership to move forward together. My name is Shagun Idowu, and for the last 1,028 days, I've had the privilege of serving as the, the privilege of serving as the Chief of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion for Mayor Michelle Wu here in the city of Boston. And it is my delight to have all of you here to celebrate some forward movement, some accomplishments we've had as a city, but also to talk about how we're going to keep that momentum moving forward. One of the reasons I'm happy is that 5 years ago, November 8th, 2019, I was in this room under a previous administration to talk about supplier diversity. You were there too, Mr. Feaster, and there was an executive order signed saying that the city will commit itself to moving some supplier diversity initiatives forward. But at that time, the report came out about a year or two later, kind of detailing where the city was, less than 1% of contracts going to businesses owned by people of color. Out of $2 billion, about 30 million of that being awarded to POC businesses, and the immense amount of progress that has been made under this administration and the city team we are very proud to be able to talk about some of the accomplishments we've made. I want to point out some of the people in the room who've helped to make that possible. We've got in the supplier diversity team, Stacy, Carlita, Samuel, Cam, Jessica, Adrian, Jalivia, Riley, Kat, and Peishi, who are joining us, but absolutely. And from the procurement and auditing teams, we have Casey, Anna, Laura, Ryan, Scott, Mike, Colin, and Jen, who also are joining us this afternoon. But I also want to acknowledge a figure who left us recently for a different role in the private sector, although he doesn't know that he came back and we're going to rehire him for this role. But the former director of Supplier Diversity, Andre Lima, is joining us as well, where these... So, and a colleague of mine who's not able to join because she's at a really important meeting right now, Ashley Grofenberger, our CFO, who manages the auditing and procurement teams. Also, all of this would not be possible. All the things that Mayor Wu is going to announce today as forward progress would not be possible without the individuals that I just mentioned, including Donald Wright, who's our deputy chief. So, all that said, this past weekend, this is the most talking I'm going to do, by the way, so I just want you to know. But this past weekend, we were at the Mass Black Expo hosted by the Black Economic Council of Massachusetts, and, was able to be there and spend about 30 minutes introducing the mayor. And as part of that introduction, I shared, as someone that grew up in this city, progress has been ever fleeting when it comes to talking about communities of color. And, we are really excited about the fact that, I shared before that my grandfather said not to confuse motion with progress. And in this time, in this year, at this location, we're able to talk about some of the progress we've been making as a community, as a city, the fact that, and that leadership matters. The fact that last year at the bowling building, named after Bruce Bowling, who was a champion on the city council to advance supplier diversity initiatives, we talked about how we doubled the contract awards to minority-owned businesses, the fact that, through at least OEOI, millions of dollars, more than $15 million awarded to 1,200 local small businesses, 60% of them owned by people of color, that through our, absolutely. Through our space program, the fact that there's 61 businesses, $7.5 million, that 75% of them are owned by people of color, and they're all creating 600 new jobs here in the city of Boston. The work through housing, the fact that more developers of color are getting work with the city, the work that we're doing in the climate space, all because of this mayor, this administration, and partnership with all the folks who are in this room and those who could not be here today. So I will end by saying, and then do what I was supposed to do 7 minutes ago, which is to bring up our mayor. There is a proverb that says that one cannot discover new lands until one has the courage to lose sight of the shore. And I, again, have to give credit to the teams here at the city and to our partners in the field that we have thrown everything at the wall to try to figure out this issue on supplier diversity, and we have really found the things that are going to work to not just ensure that we're delivering more contracts, but that we're building up the Black and brown and women-owned and veteran-owned businesses that will one day be able to competitively bid for these contracts. So, all that said, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the person who's been my boss for the last 1,028 days, but also all of our friends and the mayor of the city of Boston, the Honorable Michelle Wu.
Thank you so much, Chief. 1,028 mornings waking up every day excited for the progress ahead. Same here. And on this front, I just want to say we have so much to be proud of. We have so much to mark as progress, even as we are keeping our eyes trained on all that we still need to do. But especially in this field, anything that you hear around a Wu administration, the Wu is short for Ida Wu. Because Shagun's leadership has made it possible. It's a huge step that we are marking today with the joining across the Charles River of the economic powerhouses in the region, with the joining of partners who are in the room who represent the power and the capacity and the potential to just supercharge what we've been doing on this front. But as the chief referenced, we would not be able to be here today to contemplate this action without the foundation that has been laid by so many of you across so many years, even way before we have had these last 1,028 days together. So to all of our partners who've been at this table and in this building, pushing, outlining a vision, putting in the hard work so that we would have this incredible range of businesses to highlight, celebrate, and then commit to formally investing in. Thank you for all that you have done for so many years. Thank you again to the entire team. I won't mention everyone again, but we're only here because of the many, many hands and hearts that are behind this every day in this building and in partnership. So to our chief, to Deputy Chief Wright, the entire supplier diversity team, the entire procurement team, Casey Brock Wilson, the city's purchasing agent, thank you. And we are so honored to be hosting our neighbors and leaders from the city of Cambridge here today. It is a treat to welcome Mayor Denise Simmons and City Manager Huang here, as well as Cambridge City Councilor Aisha Wilson, the team at Cambridge Community Development Department, Director of Economic Opportunity and Development Pardees Safari, and Senior Economic Development Manager Allison Allen. So please raise your hands, team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're so excited about this collaboration in addition to so much that we're working on together. Involving and, more importantly, harnessing the power of our local businesses to drive our economy forward has been a collective effort, and everyone here has been critical to the progress that we've seen. And today we will put that compact into action. So we're here to reaffirm our cities, our two cities' shared vision. As the engines of innovation for our region, the city of Boston and the city of Cambridge have a responsibility to the lives and livelihoods that depend on the opportunities that we are creating. And we have a responsibility to share those opportunities and the prosperity they create equitably across all of our communities. This compact that we'll sign here today strengthens our local and regional economies by creating more robust supplier pathways, by strengthening the overall ecosystem, and by supporting our communities with pathways for more residents to build wealth. By creating more contracting opportunities for Black and brown businesses, businesses owned by women, veterans, and members of our LGBTQ+ community, we're diversifying our supply chain and making it more resilient. The pandemic made very clear that diversification and the pipeline can make or break the economic health of any company or organization or industry. And that strategy has been especially important in our line of work. It's hard to provide city services that truly serve all of our residents if the businesses that we're contracting with to provide those services don't represent all of our residents. And at the same time, it's clear that when those who have historically been excluded from contributing to our economy are at the table and giving their fullest potential, everyone benefits. That was on full display this past weekend, as Chief Idowu mentioned, with the Mass Black Expo being held at the Convention Center. Thank you so much to BECMA for your leadership and your partnership in making sure that every possible way we are able to highlight, showcase, and then put to work the talent from Black businesses and community leaders. From those, some of our partners at the city include Shantae Davidson, who's helping build out EV charging infrastructure in our city, Aisha James, who helped us welcome the NAACP's annual convention to Boston last year, and many leaders who are shaping our city's strategy for growth and competitiveness, entrepreneurs who are bringing vitality to our commercial districts with the help of space grants and Wake Up the Night grants. It couldn't be clearer that when we don't do everything we can to support the brilliant businesses that bring our city to life, we're leaving serious talent on the table. And that's why this Supplier Diversity Week, I'm so proud to celebrate the fact that for the first time in our city's history, Boston has exceeded $100 million in total spending with Black and brown businesses. Through the diligent efforts of the team members who were shouted out before, the city has increased the value of contracts awarded to these same businesses by 40% up from last year. And so now, as I join Mayor Simmons and City Manager Huang and leadership from the City of Cambridge, we build on this momentum by signing today's compact, which doubles down on our work to better serve our communities and put our shared resources towards propelling our economy forward. So now it's my pleasure to pass it to Cambridge City Manager Huang.
Thank you so much, Mayor Wu, and thank you for hosting this. We are so excited to be here with you all, and I'm just really excited to celebrate the work that has come about. We started this journey a little bit behind Boston, but came to the same surprising and not surprising wake-up call when we completed our disparity study in the city of Cambridge last year, and found that similarly, very, very few, under 1% of the dollars that we were spending were going to minority, Black and brown, women-owned, veteran-owned businesses. And it was a huge wake-up call to look inside and say, how have we built our systems such that this is the outcome that we are seeing? And I really appreciate the city staff in this room, the city council that has held our feet to the fire, but we have been working to look at what are the barriers and how do we fix this and how do we live up to the values that we profess. And one of the very early conversations that we had, and I appreciate all the work that Pardis, Allison, Tyrone have been doing, as well as the work within our law department. Evan is here, and I think our director of purchasing could not make it, but Liz Unger, and then our chief of equity and inclusion, Deirdre Travis Brown. In our conversation, we said we've got to tackle the full range of these challenges, including how difficult it is to be certified. And as we looked out across the businesses that we wanted to work with, we realized a lot of them are in Boston, or they may be in other municipalities, and it didn't make a lot of sense for us to create our own process. The whole idea here is to make this easier for the businesses that we want to work with. And so I really appreciate just the openness for staff to get together to work this challenge and to come to an agreement where we can actually have government working in a way that makes sense for our communities. So I'm thrilled to be here. And I love, Shagun, just this idea of we are going out to see, and we have the courage to do that, and a commitment to that journey to recognize that actually we are now out on the water, but there's a better shore that we're aiming for. And I really see that it is the outcome that we are looking to change. We will have more to report in the months and years to come. But the thing that really inspires me, we were at an event that we were holding for minority-owned businesses, and they really showed up. They showed up, and I remember Allison and Pardis, as we were sitting there and speaking, there was a business owner who grew up in Cambridge and had not received $1 of contracts with the city of Cambridge, and she had tried. And part of what this work is to reach out to those businesses, understand what the barriers are, and actually get them work with the city that they can do and that they're going to do a fantastic job of. And I'm excited that a couple of the people that showed up, we have actually helped figure out how to help navigate the city procurement system, and we now have them doing work with the city of Cambridge. And those are the stories that we want to see adding up over time to real dollars and a better future for our community and for our city. So I'm so excited that we are here, and I'm also very excited to invite our mayor, Edie Simmons, to come and share a couple of remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. For those that don't know me, I usually have a typical greeting. I say good afternoon, and then people respond by saying great afternoon. So, good afternoon. Great afternoon. It is a great afternoon because we're really getting ready to embark on something that's really going to change opportunities in the lives of so many citizens. I want to thank Mayor Wu for being brave enough with your staff to make this happen. And of course, our Economic Development Department has been working hard trying to make sure that everyone in our city that owns a business that's Black, brown, woman, veteran, LGBT has an equal opportunity at opportunity. If I were to lay a quote on what we're trying to do, there's that quote that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And that's what this is trying to do. We're trying to go together to really enlarge, increase, and support economic opportunity for all of our citizens in both of our cities. When the study came out not that long ago, Council Wilson, to her credit, got right on it, called an economic development meeting to say, why is this happening and what can we do to make sure that it doesn't continue to happen? About 30 or 40 years ago, we embarked on our way of trying to give minority businesses an equal opportunity by our Minority and Women Business Directory. We started looking at ourselves first. Are we making sure that our city dollars, the money that our city uses for goods and services, is spent in the city before it went out? It was a small step, but not quite a big enough step. And then when we talked about businesses being certified and being able to grow their opportunities, we just were not getting far enough, fast enough, or well enough. And so I am so excited that this regional partnership will allow Cambridge's businesses to get certified with Boston. We are sister cities. I don't know who came first, Cambridge or Boston. We'll fight about that later. But the promotion of regional certification and regional contracting opportunities for our businesses is important, and it's going to be the mainstay. And I am certain that we will do so much better for our communities and when this is launched. I'm so proud to see you here, although you didn't. You could have come to Cambridge, but we'll talk about it another time. I'm so proud to see you here because I know the work that you've done and continue to do. So, Mayor Wu, to my staff here of Cambridge, I look forward as we launch this opportunity for what I call economic prosperity for all. So it's really exciting to be here. Thank you.
So as the mayor and the city manager come up for the signing of the compact, as well as other members of the team, I just want to note for the folks in the room and the folks that are recording that $100 million did not take that 1,028 days. It was 365. One fiscal year that we saw that, whereas, it took a while previously, but also what's being announced today, the mayor is delivering on one of her promises to be more transparent, to be able to hold the administration and future administrations accountable. There is now a contract equity dashboard, which is now available on the city website, where you're not only able to see the percentage, the spend, but also to look by contract, who has been awarded what contracts. That's something that many, many municipalities and even the state have been trying to do, and the city is leading on that. So again, I want to thank the team, our Do It team, and others who helped to make that possible. So we'll have folks join up.